Давай предположим, что все случилось, Tsarukyan с Topuria дерутся. Ты кого видишь фаворитом в этом бою?
Я не вижу шансов у Topuria.
То есть ты считаешь, что
Я
Арман
на подарки
да?
тоже не даю. Арман слишком дистанционно дерется. Я, например, 80-20 я вижу победителем Армана. Я считаю, что его борьба, его прессинг, его говорить, это тоже надо.
Khabib Nurmagomedov surprised the MMA world by naming Arman Tsarukyan as the clear favorite in a potential fight against Ilia Topuria. This came as a shock since Topuria has brutally knocked out 3 UFC legends in his last 3 fights. However, Khabib explained that he doesn't see Topuria standing much of a chance against Tsarukyan. He pointed out that Arman has evolved into a complete fighter, mastering range, distance, control, and sharp kicks to neutralize strikers. Khabib also noted that Tsarukyan now has the experience and fight footage needed to study opponents thoroughly, making him far more dangerous than before. He argued that Topuria's style wouldn't translate well against someone as well-rounded as Arman. And at this moment, he considers Tsarukyan the best lightweight in the division.
Давай предположим, что все случилось, Tsarukyan с Topuria дерутся. Ты кого видишь фаворитом в этом бою?
Я не вижу шансов у Topuria.
То есть ты считаешь, что Арман
Я на подарки
да?
тоже не даю. Арман слишком дистанционно дерется. С ударниками держит дистанцию хорошо, ногами лучше работает. И сейчас уже Арман слишком хорошо. У него есть материал, который он может посмотреть и хорошо изучить. Если 3 боя назад, если он с ним дрался, может, он не так опасался. Но сейчас уже видно то, чего можно опасаться от Topuria. Я считаю, что в данный момент лучший боец в легком весе это Topuria.
Ты про Tsarukyan.
Да, я про...
Khabib believes Arman Tsarukyan would be an 80-20 favorite over Ilia Topuria, crediting his complete MMA skill set beyond wrestling. He highlighted Arman's takedowns, elbows, grappling, and submissions, along with his improved fight IQ and ability to study opponents. Khabib also noted Arman's size, strength, and pressure as key advantages that would make him the bigger, more dominant fighter on fight night.
Это за счет борьбы, правильно?
За счет ММА стиля.
Но
это не вольная борьба.
Но будет проходить, да?
Арман может повалить, у него хорошие локти в партере. Очень хороший лоб. Может бороться, разбаривать, спину забирать.
А вот в эту опасную дистанцию с Topuria просто не зайдет.
Не зайдет, слишком уже есть бои, он уже может посмотреть, изучить. Я например, 80-20 я вижу победителем Армана. Я считаю, что его борьба, его прессинг, его говорить, это тоже надо учитывать. Он выше него почти на 10 сантиметров, если не ошибаюсь. И он больше него весом.
Khabib also stressed that wrestling would be the biggest factor in this matchup. He said Ilia Topuria has never faced a true wrestler, noting that fighters like Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira offered little to no wrestling threat. And even Volkanovski relies on striking. Khabib challenged anyone to name a single opponent of Topuria who used wrestling even 20%, let alone 50%.
Конечно, борьба, она всегда рулила. Да, особенно когда такие бои бывают. Ну, мы все знаем, какая борьба у Холлоуэя и какая борьба у последнего Чарльза Оливера. У них ее практически нет. Они ударники. Они пошли на рожон и хапнули свое. А человек, который взял ногу, поборолся, взял корпус, поборолся.
Ну да, то, что
с такими он не дрался, он дрался со всеми ударниками. Волконовский не борется, другие не борются, но с кем он дрался? Просто назови хоть одного, хоть чуть-чуть, хоть даже не 50%, который хоть 20%.
Khabib admitted the matchup is very interesting and pointed out that the UFC seems hesitant to rush Arman Tsarukyan into a fight with Ilia Topuria. He acknowledged that Topuria is the bigger star right now, but said if Arman scores a major win, the UFC won't be able to avoid booking that fight.
Я считаю, что, я знаю, что UFC опасаются, не хотят его так быстро убирать, Topuria. По-любому, он как медийная личность в данный момент
и поэтому может
больше, чем Арман. Ну, если даже вылезет сейчас, что сейчас, Арман, если один бой выиграет, куда его деть?
Да, деваться некуда будет.
Они же не могут его...
Islam Makhachev also agreed that the most logical lightweight fight right now is Ilia Topuria versus Arman Tsarukyan. He said Arman has already proven himself as a true contender and earned the opportunity, adding that with the right mindset, Tsarukyan has all the tools to beat Topuria.
Сейчас самый справедливый бой за чемпионство в легком весе между Ильей Топурией и Арманом Царукяном
Ну да, конечно. Если кто-то когда-то, не знаю, в истории страховал бой, делал вес, он всегда дрался почти. Ну, я не помню в истории, чтобы не давали бой. Арман сделал последний турнир вес, подстраховал бой. И я думаю, он должен быть следующий. Он доказал, что у него же была проблема с весогонкой. Он доказал, что может спускаться, гонять вес. И я думаю, что это самый актуальный бой на данный момент.
У кого было бы больше всего шансов на победу?
Ну, я думаю, если честно, если Арман выйдет с правильным настроем, то он справится.
Charles Oliveira also supported Arman Tsarukyan as the next challenger for Ilia Topuria's title, saying Arman is the #1 contender and has already earned a shot. He reminded everyone that Tsarukyan was once scheduled for a title fight, but had to withdraw due to injury, which makes him the rightful choice now.
Seria uma luta interessante e que causaria talvez uma dificuldade pro Topuria.
Cara, não vou te falar nem de dificuldade, nem interessante. Eu acho que o cara que merece isso é o Arman, o número 1 do ranking. Então, o Arman merece essa luta. Sabe, tá esperando ali, ele lutar pelo título, teve a lesão.
While Arman Tsarukyan hinted that a title fight with Ilia Topuria could be next, but said he is still waiting for the UFC to confirm it. In his view, Ilia is avoiding the matchup because of the danger it presents, choosing instead to chase easier high-profile opponents rather than defending his belt against him.
I wanna fight for the title. I've been waiting so long, and Son maybe knows something.
How do you know if those conversations about a title fight are ongoing with the UFC?
They didn't tell anything yet to me. So I'm just still waiting, training, and trying to call out Ilia as much as possible. But
yeah, we've seen some of the tweets towards Ilia. They've been funny. I enjoyed the duck video that he did. What do you make of the fact that he says he would rather give up the belt than fight you? That you just don't deserve it. He doesn't want to do it.
I mean, he feels that he's gonna lose that fight, and it's better to give the belt and then like go up or like wait when what happened with me, because he knows just I'm a big problem for him, and I'm gonna get his title. He knows that, and he wants to get easy fight with Perry or Gage or with someone, just make money and to defend. But with me,
Khamzat Chimaev also said the fight between Ilia Topuria and Arman Tsarukyan has to happen this year. He called it the perfect matchup, with Arman's wrestling against Ilia's striking, proving who is really the best. Although he is close to both fighters, Khamzat admitted he would be excited to see them finally face each other in the cage.
We know you're kind of friends with Ilia too, and you know you're friends with Arman. Do you see them fighting this year?
I hope so. It's a good fight for the both guys. So fighting is, we need to know who is the best fighter in the world. So the both guys is best fighters now. So I will be happy to watch that fight. Yeah, it's a crazy fight. Arman is good moves. Like he has a good kick, good wrestling, and the other guy has a good jiu-jitsu, a good puncher. You know, so it would be cool to watch up.
Arman Tsarukyan said if Ilia Topuria isn't available, he's open to fighting another top contender, but only with a guaranteed title shot afterward. He named Justin Gaethje as his first choice and also mentioned Dan Hooker. Meanwhile, Hooker announced he's cleared to return in November and wants to face Tsarukyan, since no one ranked between them is willing to take the fight.
You had ducked him, but I've heard you call his name many times over the years. So there's that chat.
It just didn't work out. I'm cleared to fight in November. That fight was in October. I never even got offered that fight because I told the UFC that I don't have medical clearance. So I'm cleared for November. All he had to do was kind of sit and wait a couple of weeks. But, you know, it's just the stars didn't like. I want that Arman. Yep. I think he's a scumbag, monobrow loser. That and knee him right in I'll cave his face right in. That's on the cards. There's not a single other fighter in the top 5 or anyone ranked between me and him that even wants that fight. Like, no one, he's the #1 contender. No one gives a flying.
Chael Sonnen shared his thoughts on Ilia Topuria's next move, saying he's convinced the UFC is setting up a fight with Arman Tsarukyan. He explained it with certainty, not speculation, noting that Topuria often publicly rejects fights before later accepting them. Sonnen added that his confidence comes from his close friendship with Arman's wrestling coach, who gave him inside information.
Outside of illness or even if I'm breaking news to you, then I'm not sharing my opinion. I'm sharing a fact with you. It's Arman versus Ilia. That is 100% the plan.
What makes you so confident, 100% sure, is going to be Arman Tsarukyan getting the shot? I've said, I'm pretty sure I said I'd eat that hat behind me if his next fight was for a title, just because it seems so grim, Chael.
Sure.
What has changed?
Well, there's a couple things. I mean, first off, I'm obviously coming to you with information that whether I should have or I shouldn't. Secondly, I was the best man in his wedding. His name's Daryl Christian, and he's the wrestling coach of Arman Tsarukyan. Third, I just spoke to Coach Cal. I wanted to come out and I wanted to film Chimaev training, and it turns out that Tsarukyan's in the...
Demetrius Johnson said Arman Tsarukyan deserves the title shot against Ilia Topuria as the top contender, but believes the UFC prefers booking Topuria versus Paddy Pimblett for the hype and business value, comparing it to pro wrestling over sporting merit. Hashtag.
Next for Ilia Topuria. Now, technically, it should be Arman Tsarukyan because he is truly the number one contender. But they basically forced this Paddy Pimblett versus Ilia Topuria engagement because there is beef between those guys. They have had some exchanges before outside of the Octagon. But this is where I had this hot take recently this week is that I said the UFC is not a sport. Like, they get to dictate what they want to push the narrative of what the fans want to see, which that's not what a sport is dictated on. And it's funny because my dad and my wife, Destiny, were watching the fights. They're like, what the fuck? It's like WWE all over again.
On the other side, attention is turning to the Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena fight, likely set for November at UFC 322, where Islam is locked in and pushing his limits in camp as he chases a second championship belt. In a recent video, Islam Makhachev also explained the details behind his well-known inside leg kick, breaking down how he sets it up and uses it to control range and disrupt his opponents.
Этот прием. Вот зашагнул, о, видишь, сейчас хорошее расстояние. И оделся. А вот это...
By the looks of things, there we go.
To the side of his chest. Now an outside.
Meanwhile, Islam Makhachev explained why there are currently no American champions in the UFC. He said it's because the promotion is now signing more fighters from his region, where athletes live and breathe the sport with a different level of commitment. In his view, American fighters don't face the same pressure if they lose, while his countrymen carry the weight of their families, communities, and entire republics, which drives them to fight with full responsibility and always find a way to win.
Американских чемпионов вообще абсолютно не осталось. Единственное, Мираб, но он гражданин Америки, но по факту он грузин. С чем ты связываешь упадок американских ММА?
Просто они начали уже подписывать больше наших ребят, все из-за этого.
Первые 4 строчки в рейтинге Папа занимают ребята из Кавказа, а лет через 5 ты допускаешь, что будет не 4 бойца, а уже 10, например.
Ну, знаете, как я скажу, если будут подписывать, я со 100% уверенностью говорю, что будет очень много чемпионов. С Кавказа, с Дагестана, с Чечни, потому что не секрет же, у нас ребята живут этим, живут спортом. В Америке как? Ты плохо выступил, это они ни о чем не переживают. А у нас здесь за этим парнем вся семья стоит, весь город, вся республика стоит. И он чувствует эту ответственность. И вот с полной ответственностью выходит, готовится.
Speaking about his upcoming clash with Jack Della Maddalena, Islam Makhachev made it clear he plans to smash him. When asked if JDM was on the same level as fighters like Alexander Volkanovski or Dustin Poirier, Islam admitted Jack's size could make the matchup interesting, but brushed off any doubts about that.
То твой бой с Маддаленой будет очень сложным. А ты видишь, в чем Маддалена превосходит твоих прошлых соперников, например, Волконовский или Порье?
Весом, наверное. Ну, не знаю. Знаешь, как зависит. Если, например, даже вот сейчас про Чимаева бой говорили, если он дал бы ему поработать, то это был бы конкурентный бой. И также и у меня, и у всех. Если дать работать, например, в стойке Маддалене, он может показать хороший бой. Не секрет, я собираюсь его переводить, я собираюсь его контролировать, заставлять его устать, навязывать.
Meanwhile, Carlos Prates admitted he first expected Jack Della Maddalena to struggle after his injury and long layoff. thinking the fight would just be a close points battle, but he was surprised by Jack's growth and the new level he showed. Henry Cejudo, however, stressed that Islam Makhachev is a completely different kind of challenge, with elite top control and relentless pressure far beyond anything Jack has ever dealt with.
I was thinking Jack Della Maddalena would lose. He got injured, and I was like almost 2 years without fight. And then he come to different level, bro. He was like gonna be a board fight by points and things like that. But bro, what he did was really good work. He grew up a lot.
Yeah, but
he come a different level.
Yeah, but Islam is a different animal. And if there's one thing that I could say in that fight, Islam Makhachev, he gets on top of you.
Yeah,
he's a blanket, bro. Top control that Islam has in comparison to Bilal is completely.
Joe Rogan also praised Islam Makhachev's size and conditioning, describing him as a physically imposing fighter. He often pointed out how surprising it was that Islam could even cut to 155 with such a thick frame and broad back. Rogan highlighted his strength and grappling ability, stressing how he uses power and leverage to overwhelm opponents on ground.
Big dude.
Yeah.
When I interview him in the cage afterwards, I'm always like, how?
Really?
How are you 155?
Yeah.
How?
I know.
How?
I know.
He's thick as f. He's got a giant back.
Yeah.
And when he gets a hold of guys, it's like he's just got this leverage, this grappling squeeze that it's. I remember when he fought Drew Dober, and like when he got Dober down to the ground, I was like, that's a wrap.
Yoel Romero shared his thoughts on the welterweight division, saying Jack Della Maddalena could pose a real threat to Islam Makhachev. He explained that Jack's combination of cardio, striking, and underrated wrestling makes him one of the most dangerous fighters at 170. Romero also pointed out that Jack's size and physicality give him the tools to challenge anyone in the division, including Islam, making the fight look like a true 50-50 matchup.
Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena, who is a new champion in welterweight division.
It's hard. It's hard because Maddalena have a very good cardio, very good puncher. Yeah. It's not bad wrestling too. It's not bad wrestling. It's a 50-50.
50-50, but Jack has not that high takedown defense. You know,
but punch it. He have very hard punches.
And he will be more powerful than Islam, right? Or
that's it. Exactly.
Because of the weight difference, right?
Yes.
Or Islam is too big for...
No. That guy, Maddalena, is big for 170. He's big.
Javier Mendez said Jack Della Maddalena is a serious threat due to his size and versatile striking, noting his mix of kicks and punches keeps opponents off balance. He added that while Ilia Topuria may be a sharper boxer, Jack's overall striking is more complete, stressing Islam Makhachev must be perfectly prepared with no mistakes.
You know what we're dealing with? We're dealing with a much bigger guy and just as dangerous, if not more dangerous in different variations. Not boxing, because I think Topuria's got the best boxing in the business. I still believe that. But Jack is well-versed in the kicking and the arsenal, how he mixes it up. He's really good at head and body, leg, everything. He's really, really good at that. So we have our hands cut out for us. It's not an easy fight at all. If Islam, by some miracle of a chance, makes that fight to be like slam dunk, it's because we were properly prepared, or Jack wasn't as prepared, or Jack was injured, or Jack just got caught. But it's gonna be one of those fights. It's not easy. No way in hell is that fight gonna be easy. Very tough.
Choff Neal urged Jack Della Maddalena to defend the welterweight division, warning it would reflect poorly if Islam Makhachev moved up from lightweight and instantly took over. He acknowledged Islam's dominance at 155, but questioned if his physicality would hold against naturally bigger fighters at 170. Neal emphasized Jack's takedown defense as the key factor and hoped he was ready for the pressure.
I don't know. We will see, because I've heard Islam's strong, the strongest. Like, especially like when he's fighting 155, people like always talk about how strong he is for the weight class. So we'll see how that translates to 170.
Yeah.
You know, I hope Jack's been working his takedown defense and in the weight room. You know what I mean? Don't embarrass us, dog. Don't let this 155er come up and take the belt, bro.
Who do you give the edge to in that fight?
Man, that's so hard. But I'm gonna give the edge to Jack, man. He needs to keep the belt.
That's all for today's video. and we hope you enjoyed it. Let us know your thoughts and predictions about this fight in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more updates on this highly anticipated showdown.